Hey everyone, Once Bitten here with a battle report. So this is a game from about 2.5 weeks ago. I was out of town, about 4 hours away from where I live, but I had taken my gaming stuff and met up with a local player. It's a guy that I know from the regional tournament scene. I think we've played each other once before at a tournament. So I was excited to get a game in while I was out of town. The problem is I came back in town and then immediately left on vacation, and now I just got back and so it's just been a while since I played the game. Anyway, 2,500 points. A beast herd list. My list is kind of weird. I built it under version 0.10, beta 1.10, and and I told my opponent, I was like, some of the prices, the costing is probably a little bit off because this is the old costing. The downside for me is that the build is slightly off because with the new rules, the way they tweaked them, I probably wouldn't take in some of these things. So if my list looks weird to you, especially if you add up the points, they might be a little bit off. But we'll go over that. So overall, the board looks like this. I can tell you my opponent deployed first. I think we danced around a little bit deploying, but then he plonked all his stuff down, I think. Anyway, his list looks something like that. He's got a Magister on a Doom Bell in with a horde of, I assume, that guy's with the Vermin Guard. And then he's got a Plague Prophet on the Pendulum, and I assume that guy's with the Plague Brotherhood or whomever they're with. He's got two big nasty units with two big war platforms in with them. He's got a BSB, of course, who can hide and never be attacked. He's got this Vermin Demon that's just awesome. This thing, I love this thing. The model's beautiful that he's using for it. It is really a glass cannon. If he gets in combat with you, it looks like he's going to kill almost anything it touches, but he seems somewhat vulnerable. Then, of course, he's got a kind of a block of slaves, a couple of abominations, and two lightning cannons. Meanwhile, I'm trying out a Minotaur list. I've got two warlords in here and a Minotaur BSB. So, first warlord has 2-up armor save, only a 6-up ward. This guy has +3 attacks, plus he's frenzied, so he's starting like 9 attacks. Often he's re-rolling to hit, and then he gets to, and then he has the divine. So if you have a ward save, you have to re-roll them. Tough as nails. The other Minotaur Warlord has only a 4-up armor save, but he has a 4-up ward save. BSB has a 2-up armor save. He has the Pillager icon, so chariots and monstrous beasts within 12 inches of him can vanguard. I've got a level 4 with the Lore of Nature. I thought that might hopefully synergize well with these Minotaurs, where I think their biggest weakness is that they're pretty fragile, and this thing can heal them, buff them up when necessary. Ironically, the spell that I relied upon the most during this game was the direct damage magic missile, which I thought was pretty cool. I've got 2 units of Minotaurs, one's in core, one's in special, 3 units of chariots, 2 ambushing beast giants. A unit of Ravagers was in my list, but then I didn't. I forgot. I didn't put him on the table. I didn't see him. And I have a Razor Tusk and a Gorgon. So overall, the board looks like that. I think it's very possible this is after this is after Vermin turn 1. You can see any movement I've done was from Vanguarding. I haven't moved yet. He moves up like that. And the only thing that happened on his turn of any significance really was he was shooting both of his lightning cannons at my Gorgon and hit him. I think he did like 4 wounds to him in total. So he's kind of close to being dead. All right, so this picture is actually after Vermin turn 2, which means Beast Herds had a turn 1, nothing of significance happened. Then Vermin turn 2 happens, and some parts of this game just start really going to pot at this point. So he charged a chariot that was hiding behind the building. The chariot's job was just to make sure that his Vermin demon didn't just come waltzing anywhere around the table he wanted to. I wanted to threaten him and say, you don't really want to get impact hits on you. I don't need it to kill him. I just needed to chop a few wounds off of him. Anyway, so his big unit there, the plague guys, charge my chariot. I flee. They redirect to my Minotaur, so I'm like, bring it. I think he needs like a 9 or a 10 to get there. He was pretty far away, and he nails it. I'm like, okay. So a lot of this game is just kind of figuring out, how do things work? I don't like the look of that matchup, but Minotaurs are pretty killy. Let's see how it goes. Then if you look on the left here, I got a picture of it. Yeah, so then his slaves charge my chariot, and again, I think they need a 10. They're pretty far away. I'm like, yeah, I'll take that charge. I'm not going to flee. And he makes it. Just great. I think I should be okay there, actually. My concern is now my chariots can't really do what I need them to do, which is to kind of threaten that vermin demon. But of course, if you look how they are, they weren't doing a great job of that anyway. Um, that dragon ogre, by the way, if you don't follow my channel, I always use him as the new Razor Tusk, and I like him going after that lightning cannon. So let's see. I think shooting. I think during my turn, if anything, I got some magic spell off and maybe healed the Gorgon up a little bit. I think he's shooting at him again. Does some more wounds to him. He's kind of teetering there on the brink of death. And so we're in the magic phase of Vermin Swarm turn 2. He casts a spell. It does. I'll tell you in a minute what it might be. One of a few things, but anyway, cast a spell, and I throw what I thought was plenty of dice at it. I think I threw 4 dice, and I rolled a 2, a 1, a 1, and a 1. So not only does that spell go off, but now I can't have my +2 to dispel. So my opponent ends up getting 3 spells off in this magic phase. He lowers, and I may be wrong on some of this. I think the way it worked out was he lowered their weapon skill by 2, he lowered their toughness, and he lowered their strength. And my Minotaurs are in a boatload of trouble. They are in so much trouble. We go to the combat phase. I take the Minotaur Warlord with just the jillion attacks, rerolling to hit, strength 5. I take them all against that big war platform. I'm like let's just kill this thing. He has to reroll his ward save, whatever, and absolutely fluff it. I mess all my to wound rolls. He makes his ward saves. I think I might have done 1 wound on it. It was ugly. That's where his abominations are, by the way. And then, oh yeah, now we go to shooting. And yeah, so on turn 2 shooting, he kills the Gorgon. I I was okay with this actually. I mean, I would have preferred to have the guy there, of course, but he has 2 lightning cannons, and it took him 2 rounds of shooting to get the guy. I'm like, that's fair enough. I think, and I say it all the time. I think if you want monsters to survive, you have to go big or go home. You need 2, 3, or 4 monsters out there. So, anything else he's shooting at, I'm not really worried about. Kill a chariot, kill a minotaur or 2, whatever. If you have enough monsters out there, then yeah, he'll kill 1 after a turn or 2 of shooting, and then you still have lots of big threats there. Anyway, that guy's dead. And after combat, yeah, so my Minotaurs, I took hand, weapon, and shield because at the time I made the list, that made a -1 to hit. But with the tweak to the parry rule, it did them 0 good whatsoever. I mean, it just did no good. And so these guys, the rats were initiative 4, my guys were initiative 3. The whole unit was dead before they got to swing. Just wiped out. Done. Like I said, my Minotaur Warlord put all his attacks into the big swinging ball thing. I'm blanking out the names. All the names are all new to me, and I don't have the mental energy to keep up with it. Anyway, and just did maybe 1 wound total. My battle standard bearer's in there, and he did a couple wounds, but really we did next to nothing. It was just awful. Even our stomps, I think I might have done 1 wound instead of 2. Just everything went wrong. And these guys broke. They didn't even roll. They just broke. They wanted nothing to do with that combat. All right, so we go to Beastman turn 2. That's not a very auspicious start for the game, but let's see what we can do. So I do rally my general and the battle standard bearer. Now, in 9th Age rules, the BSB doesn't die when he flees from combat. He loses the banner, but he stays alive. I take the other unit of Minotaurs into the other unit of I think this is the Vermin Guard with the bell. I'm not sure I love that matchup, but 1, I didn't have much else to do with them, and 2, I didn't, let's just see how this works out. So I was having, that's fine. See how they match up. Over here, I didn't really like this either. It's hard with these guys that move random distance, 3d6, I think, to get away from them. So I wanted to see how a unit of 2 chariots impact hits would help out, and if we could maybe, if these 2 units could take care of this abomination. My prediction was they're not, that I'll be lucky just to get 2 or 3 wounds through, but you never know. So there's a lot of just whimsical playtesting going on in this game. There's that combat. I'm kind of skeptical how well we'll do than that. Oh, so yeah, this is turn two. So my ambushers can come on. One of my giants came on the board, and that, I'm realizing now that, um, and I know this. I made a conscious decision to ambush with both of those giants. In hindsight, it would have been better to not ambush with them, just to keep them in my regular deployment. And sometimes I do that. I'm not blind to that option. This time I chose to deploy them, and I'm not liking how it works out. I would have rather had them on the board. Here on the left-hand side of the board, my Razor Tusk charges the other lightning cannon. So it's a turn 2 charge. Can't complain about that. And after combat. So this one, I wasn't expecting much at all, but I've taken him down, I think, 2 ranks. I mean, these guys just did a lot of damage, and I'm only missing 2 Minotaurs. So I thought that was kind of a nice trade. Um, Now, of course, could we win the war of attrition if nobody came to help out? That I don't know. Yeah, but Minotaurs certainly can dish out the damage when they get there. Razor Tusk, of course, kills the cannon. That was easy. We go to Vermin Swarm turn 3. He recharges my General and Battle Standard Bearer, or formerly BSB. And I'm actually more optimistic now. He's going to have a lot of combat res, but now he has to attack the characters. They're fairly well protected, inherently tougher, and they still just can put out a lot of damage. Yeah, so there's that. So he brings an abomination into the flank of this unit. When I reformed, I purposely did it this way so the warlord was on the flank. He's got the 4 port save. And then when the abomination came in, I was like, oh wow, yeah, this guy can always just attack rank and file guys. Now that I'm doing the report, I probably need to look that up in the rules. I know that it says that rank and file troops can always attack rank and file troops, and I don't know how that affects a monster. I would kind of assume that a monster would count as a rank and file because he's not a character, and so therefore he could go ahead and attack the Minotaurs. He did, but if I'm wrong on that, please let me know. After combat, yeah, it just didn't work. The Minotaur Warlord and Minotaur Chieftain couldn't do a whole lot of damage. So I'm going to go up a little bit. Right now they have, what, 3 ranks plus 9? 1, 2, 3, 4. So I don't know. It looks like I did 4 wounds total. This time, if memory serves, I decided just to go after rank and file troops. And between the Minotaur Warlord and the Minotaur Chieftain, with stomps and everything, they did 4 wounds. So I don't remember how that happened. My guess is there was just some really super bad rolling on my part. It probably doesn't matter. My opponent was going to win combat, and I easily could have failed my break test anyway. So those guys are gone. Yeah, the Helpit went in there, or the Abomination went in there and killed a bunch of Minotaurs. Look at the rat unit though. That thing's been depleted. Those guys, they just still did some work. So now, the game's in the rats. It's going to be the rats' game. But now I'm just saying, okay, well, is there any way we can salvage this? So first off, my other giant comes on the board. Talk about too little, too late. The first giant charges the cannon. My level 4 Lore of Nature is just bouncing around. Now what he's got this vendetta going against this vermin demon. Like, I want to kill that guy. I've been casting. First of all, I've had Throne of Vines up, I think, the whole game. And if not the whole game, certainly almost the whole game. The Oaken Throne, I mean. So the Oaken Throne is up. So I'm getting boosted. And I'm casting the boosted version of this spell. So I get 2d6 Strength 5 hits on this guy. And now it's turn 3, and I've only done 3 wounds to him. Darn it. Darn it. It's gone on at least once, but I think I've got it off twice on him. The cannon dies horribly. Go to Vermin turn 4. On the right, you can see he's moving up a little bit. I kind of like that. I want to get my giants into that unit just to see what they can do. Otherwise, yeah, just a little bit of dancing around. He casts some kind of magic on the chariot that was in front of the building, kills it. And I kind of like that chariot there because he was keeping his vermin demon kind of in check. We go to beast turn 4. I get my giants together. My shaman is just dancing outside of line of sight of that vermin demon, saying, okay, I'm going to keep casting magic at you. I'm going to get you. And I take the Razor Tusk into this unit. Now, again, this is kind of a whimsical playtesting. Like, yeah, I wonder how we can do. I think that unit's going to be just steadfast forever. But, he wanted to do something in this game. I didn't want to just go hide him. Go to Vermin turn 5, and on the right side, he backs up. I'm like, okay, perfect for a rat. All right, fine. Um, we go to Beast Herds turn 5, and I just stay where I'm at with the giant. I'm not gonna. If I go forward with the giants, I'm just giving him an easy chance to hit them with the abominations. I don't necessarily want that. And over here, yeah, this time, I think when you have static combat res, I mean, it makes you, you have the advantage. So my guy just whiffed his attacks a little bit, lost and broke. That Vermin Demon has 4 wounds now, so I think this magic phase did 1 wound to him. We go to the Vermin's last turn. He's trying to hide his Vermin Demon, but he just can't get away. The thing I like about the spell is it's direct damage, but 18-inch range. But if you're 18 inches away from me, but if you're 18 inches within 18 inches of any kind of impassable terrain or a hill, then it still gets you. So he can't hide from me. So anyway, overall it looks like that. I mean, there's some movement going on, but it doesn't mean anything. And I swear, I've hit this guy at least 3 times, maybe 4 times, with 2d6 strength 5, and I can only do 5 wounds to him. It just wasn't meant to be. This game, everything this game wasn't meant to be. From bad playing on my part to the dice that really just hated me. Game ended like that. So I still got my level 4. I've got my 2 giants, but the rats have just most everything they started with. So big win for the rats. Yeah, it's a fun game. I didn't sit down and meticulously build a list based on the new rules, and if I was going to do this again, I would want to do that. Still curious about Minotaurs. They still make me nervous. The T4 with only light armor, and there's no way I would give them hand weapon shield again. I'd probably just give them extra hand weapon because I like them. I would like them to have been initiative 4. I would have done a lot more attacks this game with that. But they still seem really vulnerable when I just see a horde of troops that can be steadfast and then just keep on swinging at them. Lore of Nature, you can regrow some, but you have a lot of targets that need some regrowing. So, and again, I don't think I should have ambushed with the giants. I think I should have kept my guys together, and that way, if I messed up and I lost that first unit of Minotaurs, at least when I charged in the second unit, having a couple giants in there would have certainly helped out a lot. So anyway, that's it for the game. Hope you enjoyed it. Hey everyone, Once Bitten here. Thank you so much for watching the video. I truly hope you enjoyed it. As you know, YouTube has a variety of functions you can use to interact with videos such as this. You can like or comment on the video, you can favorite it, you can share it, and of course you can subscribe to the channel. And I encourage you to do any or all of those things as a way of interacting between viewer and producer. As always, I appreciate your patronage on the channel and wish you all the best.